My wife said if you can't handle me sleeping with your friends, then leave, they're real men, she snapped. I smiled coldly. As you wish. The next morning, my 3 friends and wife landed in the ER with matching symptoms. Then the doctor entered the room. Guys, this is hard to say. But your diagnosis is. Their faces froze in shock. My name's Dustin. I'm 34, work as a food safety and regulatory auditor. Not glamorous, but it pays well and gives me access to places most people never see. Hospitals, charities, high-end catering facilities. I inspect their kitchens, their procedures, their documentation. I know what makes people sick and what keeps them safe. That knowledge would matter later. My wife Alicia designs wedding dresses. Not just any dresses, the kind that cost more than most people's cars. She's good at it too. Built her whole business from nothing, now she's got a studio downtown, 3 employees, and a client list full of trust fund daughters and second wives. I was proud of her. Notice I said was. We'd been together 8 years, married for 5. Good years, I thought. We had the house in Riverside Heights, the matching Audis, the friend group who came over for dinner every other Saturday. That friend group, that's where this starts. Harvey ran the wine program at Guillaume's, that French place where they won't seat you without a reservation made 3 weeks out. He knew everything about wine, could tell you the soil composition of whatever vineyard your bottle came from. We'd been friends since college. He was my best man. Conrad worked as a physical therapist with professional sports teams. Big guy, played football in college until he blew out his knee. He had this way of making everything sound like a locker room speech. You gotta want it, brother. You gotta fight for what's yours. Yeah, well. Wade did commercial real estate. Always had a deal brewing, always knew a guy who knew a guy. He'd helped us find our house, got us a deal because the seller was going through a divorce. Divorce makes people desperate, he'd said. They just want out. I remember him laughing when he said it. These were my boys. My inner circle. We'd been through everything together, Conrad's knee surgery, Harvey's dad's death, Wade's first kid. I trusted them with my life. The signs were there, I guess. Looking back, I can see them lined up like evidence markers at a crime scene. Alicia started having more evening consultations, said brides were neurotic, wanted to meet after their day jobs. Made sense. Her studio lights would be on when I drove by after late inspections. The guys would sometimes exchange these looks when Alicia was around. You know the kind, quick glances that meant something but you can't quite place what. I figured they thought she was hot. She was. Is. Whatever. Then there were the inside jokes I wasn't part of. They'd start laughing about something and when I asked, it was always you had to be there or just this thing from the other day. Harvey started dropping by when I wasn't home. Just returning your bourbon, man. But I hadn't lent him any bourbon. Conrad would text Alicia about stretches for her back. She never mentioned back problems to me. Wade kept inviting us to properties he was showing, but somehow I'd always get the wrong address or the wrong time. Little things. Ignorable things. The kind of things you explain away because the alternative is admitting your life is a lie. Tuesday night was when it shattered. I was supposed to be in Greenville inspecting a hospital kitchen until late. The inspection got postponed, asbestos in the ceiling or something. I texted Alicia I'd be home early, maybe we could hit that new sushi place. She didn't text back. When I pulled into our driveway at 6 p.m. instead of 11 p.m., I noticed all 3 of their cars. Harvey's BMW, Conrad's truck, Wade's Tesla. Weird for a Tuesday, but maybe they were planning something for my birthday next month. I walked in through the garage, quiet because I figured I'd surprise them. The kitchen was empty but there were wine glasses out. 5 of them. Alicia must have invited someone else too. Then I heard the laughter from upstairs. Our bedroom. I stood at the bottom of the stairs for maybe 30 seconds. Just stood there, listening to the sounds. Alicia's laugh, that specific one she did when she'd had just enough wine. Harvey's voice saying something about complexity and notes. Conrad's boom of that's what I'm talking about. Wade chiming in with told you this was worth it. I walked up the stairs. Each step felt deliberate. Measured. Like I was documenting a violation at work. Step 1, no creak. Step 2, slight groan in the wood. Step 3, silence. Our bedroom door was cracked. I pushed it open. They weren't making love when I walked in. That would have been simpler, cleaner somehow. Instead, they were all on our bed, partially dressed, passing around a bottle of wine I recognized from our anniversary collection. Alicia was wearing lingerie I'd never seen, sitting between Conrad and Wade. Harvey was at the foot of the bed, shirtless, rating the wine like he was at a professional tasting. They all turned when the door opened fully. That moment, that specific moment when four faces realized they're caught, it lasted maybe 2 seconds but felt like an hour. Wade tried to cover himself with a pillow. Conrad just stared. Harvey actually had the audacity to offer me the wine bottle, like this was normal, like I'd want to join. And Alicia? She laughed. Not nervous laughter. Not embarrassed laughter. The kind of laugh you do when someone tells a joke that's genuinely funny. Oh good, she said. Now we don't have to sneak around anymore. I didn't move. Didn't speak. Just looked at each of them in turn. How long? I asked. Does it matter? Alicia stood up, didn't even bother covering herself. Months. Almost a year with Harvey. Conrad and Wade joined a few months ago. All of you. Together? Sometimes, Wade found his voice. Sometimes separate. Depends on schedules. It just happened, Conrad added, like that explained everything. We didn't plan it, Harvey said, still holding the wine. The chemistry was just... Stop, I said. Not loud. Just firm. Like when I'm noting a critical violation. I need you to be clear. All three of you have been sleeping with my wife. Together. In my house. In my bed. Your bed? Alicia stepped forward. I paid for half of everything in this house. More than half if we're counting my business income this year. That's not what I... Look, she interrupted. If you can't handle me sleeping with your friends, then leave. I'm not apologizing for going after what I want. They give me things you don't. Harvey appreciates culture. Conrad's actually strong. Wade's exciting. You? You inspect kitchens and come home smelling like bleach. They all looked at me. Waiting for the explosion. Waiting for me to scream, to throw things, to cry, to fight Conrad even though he had 50 pounds on me. I smiled. Small. Cold. The kind of smile I give when I'm about to shut down a restaurant. As you wish, I said. Then I turned and walked to my home office. I heard Alicia say something about taking it better than expected before I closed the door. I sat at my desk and opened my laptop. My hands were steady as I logged into the food safety database. There's a section most people don't know about, upcoming charity events that need certified oversight. Hospitals especially love these things. Good PR, tax write-offs, and they need someone with credentials to sign off on the food safety. There was one this Friday. A cookbook launch benefiting children's cancer research. They needed a certified auditor to oversee the cooking demonstration. I signed up as the supervising auditor. Then I created an event underneath it, a practice run for Thursday morning. Small group. Intimate setting. The system let me book the hospital's demonstration kitchen. I knew exactly who I'd invite. I pulled up my phone and started drafting messages. Individual ones. Personalized. The kind that would guarantee that all show up. Outside the office door, I heard them getting dressed, mumbling apologies to each other about the awkwardness, making plans to meet up later in the week. Let them plan. I had my own preparations to make. I stayed in my office until I heard the front door close. Then I waited another 10 minutes. When I finally emerged, the house felt different. Not violated, just exposed. Like when you flip on the lights in a kitchen at 3 a.m. and see everything for what it really is. Alicia was in the bathroom, shower running. Steam leaked under the door along with the smell of her expensive shampoo. The one that costs $40 a bottle. I walked past without stopping. In the kitchen, I poured myself a scotch. Not because I needed it, I've never been a dramatic drinker. I needed to think, and sometimes the ritual of ice clicking against glass helps organize thoughts. The demonstration kitchen at St. Bernardine Hospital was perfect. I'd inspected it 6 times over the past 2 years. Full camera system for recording cooking demonstrations. Professional grade equipment. Multiple stations. And most importantly, I had administrator access to the booking system. I pulled up the reservation on my phone. Thursday, 9 a.m. Listed as charity cookbook trial run, private session. Now for the bait. I started with Harvey. He was easiest. The man's entire personality revolved around being superior about wine. Hey man, weird favor. Got roped into this charity thing Thursday morning at St. Bernardine's demo kitchen. Some donor's wife wrote a cookbook and insists on having a sommelier pair wines with her recipes. Paying $500 for 2 hours. Know you're probably busy but thought I'd offer. 9 a.m. His response came in 3 minutes. $500 for 2 hours? What's the catch? No catch. Just rich people throwing money around for charity. You know how it is. Yes or no? I'm in. Conrad required a different approach. I texted him Wednesday afternoon, right when I knew he'd be between client sessions. Brother, need a solid. That charity event I mentioned last month? They want someone to talk about nutrition for athletes while we prep food. Bunch of team owners will be there. Purely networking for you. Thursday 9 a.m., St. Bernardine Demo Kitchen. He bid immediately. Team owners? Which teams? Can't say officially, but Reynolds from the basketball team confirmed. Maybe others. I'll clear my morning. Wade was trickiest. Real estate guys have a sixth sense for BS word. But they also can't resist a property angle. Hey, confidential but thought you should know, St. Bernardine is planning a major expansion. New wing, new facilities. The decision makers will be at a small charity thing Thursday morning. Demonstration kitchen, 9 a.m. I'm running food safety for it. Could introduce you if you happen to stop by. How major of an expansion? 8 figures minimum. Maybe 9. I'll be there. Alicia was last. I waited until Wednesday night. She was in her studio, working on some Princess Bride's third fitting. I texted, not called. I'm doing a charity thing tomorrow morning at St. Bernardine. The commissioner's wife specifically asked if you could come, saw your work in that magazine spread. Could be huge for your business. 9 a.m. if you can make it. She replied an hour later, which commissioner? Hospital board. The one married to that judge. I'll move my morning meeting. Wednesday night, I couldn't sleep. Not from nerves, from precision. I kept running through the checklist. The hospital's demonstration kitchen had specific vulnerabilities I documented in previous inspections but never reported. Not dangerous ones, I'm not a monster. Just the kind that someone with my expertise could exploit to create very specific outcomes. Temperature zones that fluctuate just enough. Surface contamination points that look clean but aren't. Cross-contamination opportunities that would take trained eyes to spot. And the beautiful part? Everything I planned was technically possible through innocent mistakes. Happens in kitchens every day. I got up at 2 a.m. and drove to my storage unit. I kept supplies there, testing kits, inspection tools, things for my job. But also other things. Specialized items you can order with the right credentials. Nothing illegal. Nothing that would destroy anyone. Just compounds that create very specific, very uncomfortable reactions when ingested in the right combinations. Syrup of ipecac, old-fashioned but effective. Perfectly legal, used to induce vomiting in poisoning cases. Though they don't recommend it anymore. Magnesium citrate, aggressive laxative. Available at any pharmacy. And my favorite, capsaicin extract. Pure, concentrated essence of hot pepper. Invisible, tasteless in small amounts, but builds up in your system until you feel like you're burning from inside. None of these would cause permanent damage. But combined? With the right timing? They'd create a symphony of misery. I also grabbed my portable cameras. Tiny things, designed for documenting violations. They looked like buttons, screws, practically invisible if you knew where to place them. Thursday morning came gray and cold. I dressed in my inspection clothes, khakis, polo shirt with the health department logo, clipboard. Official but forgettable. I arrived at 7 a.m. to prep. The kitchen was empty, pristine. I signed in with security, showed my credentials. Just another day of protecting public health. First, I set up the cameras. 1 in the smoke detector. 1 in the ventilation hood. 2 in the corners where the prep stations created blind spots. All connected to my phone, all recording. Then I prepped the ingredients. This is where my expertise sang. The cutting boards, I selected ones I knew had microscopic scoring, perfect for harboring bacteria. Not enough to be dangerous with proper cooking, but enough to cause problems if temperature controls weren't perfect. The dairy products, left them at exactly 43 degrees. Still cold, still within legal range, but the exact temperature where certain bacteria flourish. The produce, washed in water that was just slightly too warm, breaking down the cellular walls just enough to accelerate spoilage. And then my special additions. Ipecac in the cream sauce, it would take an hour to kick in. Magnesium citrate in the marinade, 2 hours for full effect. Capsaicin in the finishing oil, immediate but building impact. By 8:45, everything was ready. The kitchen looked like a TV cooking show set. Bright, clean, inviting. The ingredients arranged in perfect mise en place. The recipes printed and laminated. The cameras were rolling. At 8:55, Wade arrived first. Suit and tie, hair slicked back, carrying his leather portfolio like armor. "Dustin. Man, thanks for the tip. This expansion project could be huge for me." "Yeah, no problem," I said, handing him an apron. "They should be here soon. Might as well help with prep while we wait." Conrad came next, wearing his team polo, looking like he was ready to sign autographs. "Where are the owners?" he asked, scanning the empty kitchen. "Running late. You know how these rich guys are. Here, start chopping these vegetables." Harvey arrived with a case of wine, already talking about optimal pairings before he was through the door. I brought a selection. The 2018 Burgundy would be perfect with, "Is that Conrad?" They all stopped. Looked at each other. The confusion on their faces was almost artistic. "What are you doing here?" Wade asked Conrad. "Networking. You?" "Same." They turned to look at me. I was checking something on my clipboard, the picture of professional distraction. That's when Alicia walked in. She was wearing her business outfit, the one that cost more than most people's rent. Cream-colored dress, designer heels, jewelry that caught the light. She took one look at the three men, then at me, and her face went through about 5 different expressions in 2 seconds. "What is this?" she asked. I looked up from my clipboard, smiled that professional smile I use during inspections. This is a charity event. You all said you could make it." I gestured to the prep stations. "Shall we begin? We're making something special today." I picked up a chef's knife, tested the edge with my thumb. "Let's make this memorable." The confusion in the room was thick enough to taste. They all stood there, looking between each other and me, trying to figure out the angle. I could see their minds working. Was this a coincidence? A setup? A weird joke? "There's no charity event," Alicia said flatly. "Dustin, what are you doing?" "Of course there's a charity event," I said, pulling out the paperwork. Official letterhead, St. Bernardine logo, all of it. Children's cancer research. The cookbook launches tomorrow, but they wanted a practice run. Small group, intimate setting. Work out any kinks. I handed each of them a copy of the agenda. I'd spent an hour making it look perfect. "But why are we all here?" Harvey asked, still holding his wine case. "You each have a role," I explained, maintaining the professional tone. "Harvey, wine pairings. Conrad, you'll discuss the nutritional aspects. Wade, the hospital board member specifically requested you, something about the expansion. And Alicia, they want you to talk about presentation, making food look as good as it tastes." They exchanged glances. That same kind of look they'd been sharing for months, except now it was tinged with uncertainty. "Where are the hospital people?" Wade asked. "They'll observe from the viewing room," I pointed to the darkened window above us. "That's how these demonstrations work. We cook, they watch, then they come down for tasting. Very standard." It was BS word, but it sounded true. I'd learned that from watching them lie to me for a year. The key is to include boring details. Makes everything seem more real. "This is weird," Alicia said. "It's $500 for 2 hours of work," I replied. "Plus the networking opportunities. But if you want to leave." That got them. The money for Harvey, the networking for Conrad and Wade, the business opportunity for Alicia. They were all too greedy to walk away from potential gain. "Fine," Alicia said, tying the apron around her waist. "What are we making?" 3 courses, I said, handing out recipe cards. Appetizer, main, dessert. Everything's prepped, we just need to execute. The appetizer was bruschetta with a cream-based spread. Simple enough that they couldn't mess it up, complex enough that they'd all need to participate. I assigned tasks like I was conducting an orchestra. "Harvey, you handle the tomatoes. Conrad, the bread. Wade, you're on the cream mixture. Alicia, garnish and plating." They fell into the rhythm surprisingly easily. Maybe it was muscle memory from all those dinner parties we'd hosted, back when I thought we were all friends. The cameras captured everything, their movements, their conversations, the casual way they worked around each other like they'd done this before. Which they had. Just not in a kitchen. 20 minutes in, they started to relax. The awkwardness faded. Harvey started talking about the wine he'd selected, explaining tannins and minerality like he was giving a TED talk. Conrad made some joke about gains that got Wade laughing. Alicia critiqued everyone's knife work. Your julienne is uneven, she told Wade. Not the first time you've criticized my technique, he replied. They both laughed. Conrad joined in. Even Harvey cracked a smile. I stayed quiet, focused on my clipboard, making notes. Recording temperatures. Checking times. Being invisible while making sure they handled every contaminated surface, every compromised ingredient. Remember that time in Napa? Harvey said suddenly, then caught himself, glancing at me. What time in Napa? I asked, not looking up from my clipboard. Just a wine thing. Industry event. When? Few months ago. Funny, you never mentioned going to Napa. Silence for a moment. Then Alicia jumped in. It was when you were at that conference in Columbus. The conference in Columbus. I'd been inspecting a chain of nursing homes. Gone for 4 days. Came back to find Alicia exhausted, said she'd been working on a rush order. All 4 of you went to Napa? It just worked out that way, Conrad said. Spontaneous road trip. To an industry event, I added. That Harvey knew about. Spontaneously. More silence. The sizzle of bread in the pan suddenly seemed very loud. Look, man, Wade started. We should focus on the food, I interrupted. The observers are probably wondering why we're discussing Napa instead of children's cancer research. That shut them up. We moved on to the main course, chicken with a mushroom cream sauce. More complex, requiring actual cooking skills. I guided them through each step, making sure they tasted as they went. Always taste your food, I said. How else do you know if it's good? Alicia sampled the sauce first. Made a face. It's got a weird aftertaste. That's the truffle oil, I lied. Very subtle. It builds on the palate. They all tried it. Harvey swirled it in his mouth like wine. Conrad took 2 tastes to be sure. Wade practically drank a spoonful. I don't taste truffle, Harvey said. You will, I promised. Give it time. The main course came together beautifully. They were actually good cooks when they tried. The plating looked restaurant quality. Alicia had taught them well, apparently. All those nights I was working late, they must have been practicing. This actually looks incredible, Wade said, stepping back to admire the plates. Just like that place in the city, Conrad added. Remember? That anniversary dinner? He stopped. Looked at me. Realized what he'd just admitted. Whose anniversary? I asked. Nobody answered. Must have been yours and Alicia's, Harvey said finally. Our anniversary is in October. You were there. You gave a toast. Right. I meant. A different anniversary. Of what? The room got quiet again. They focused on plating, arranging chicken and sauce with the concentration of surgeons. We moved on to dessert. Chocolate lava cakes with raspberry Qley. Rich, decadent, the kind of thing you eat when you're celebrating. Or when you think you are. These need to rest for exactly 12 minutes after baking, I explained. Too long and they overcook. Too short and they're raw in the middle. While the cakes baked, they started drinking Harvey's wine. Just sips at first, then full glasses. The alcohol loosened tongues. God, remember that weekend at the lake house? Alicia said to Conrad. Which weekend? I asked. You were visiting your mom, she said quickly. I've visited my mom 6 times this year. Which weekend? She waved her hand dismissively. Does it matter? I guess not, I said. Though it's interesting how many things happened when I was gone. Wade laughed nervously. Man, you're acting weird today. Am I? How would you prefer I act? I don't know. Normal? Normal like Tuesday night? The timer went off for the lava cakes. Perfect timing. They came out flawlessly, dark chocolate exterior, molten center visible through the cracks. We plated them with a raspberry sauce, a dollop of cream, mint leaves for color. Restaurant perfect. Beautiful, Alicia said. We make a good team. We always have, Harvey added, then caught himself. I mean, all of us. As friends. Right, I said. Friends. I checked my watch. 10:47 a.m. The timing was perfect. The ipecac would kick in soon, followed by the others in sequence. I think we're ready for the tasting, I announced. The observers will want to try everything while it's fresh. Are they coming down? Conrad asked, looking at the viewing window. Actually, I said, pulling out my phone, they want us to do something first. For the presentation tomorrow. What kind of something? Alicia asked, a little testimonial. About working together. About trust. About friendship. I held up my phone. The record button was already red. Who wants to go first? Or should we all just talk naturally? Like we're having dinner? Like it's just another Tuesday night? Wade went pale. Not from sickness. Not yet. From recognition. Dustin. Just talk, I said. Tell them about teamwork. About how well you all work together. How natural it feels. How right. That's when Conrad grabbed his stomach. The first wave hit him like a punch. Something's wrong, he said. Then Harvey doubled over. Wade ran for the sink. Alicia's eyes went wide as her own stomach cramped. I stood there with my phone, still recording, as all four of them started to realize this wasn't about charity. You all wanted to be in my kitchen, I said calmly. So let's see how you handle the heat. The first round of vomiting started before I could dial 911. Wade made it to the sink first, but not in time. The granite counter took most of the damage. Conrad dropped to his knees right there by the prep station, his body rejecting everything from the last hour. Harvey tried to maintain dignity for about 3 seconds before sprinting to the trash can. Alicia glared at me through watering eyes. What did you do? I made dinner, I said, already dialing 911. You ate it. Cause and effect. The operator answered on the second ring. Professional voice, trained calm. 911, what's your emergency? I need multiple ambulances at St. Bernardine Hospital's demonstration kitchen. 4 people are experiencing severe food poisoning symptoms. Vomiting, abdominal cramping. Possible contamination event. Sir, did you say you're already at St. Bernardine? Yes, the demonstration kitchen in the East Wing. 4th floor. We're dispatching units now. Are you affected as well? No, I didn't eat the contaminated food. I'm a certified food safety auditor. I'll contain the scene. I hung up and walked to the supply closet, pulled out biohazard bags and industrial paper towels. Started documenting everything with my phone. The mess. Their faces. The half-eaten food on the plates. You poisoned us, Conrad gasped between heaves. Poison is a strong word, I said. The health code has very specific definitions. This is more like aggressive non-compliance with food safety standards. You're insane, Wade managed. I'm thorough. There's a difference. Harvey had gone quiet, slumped against the wall, sweating through his shirt. The capsaicin was kicking in now, adding burning sensations to the nausea. His face went from pale to flushed. Why is it burning? He asked. Inflammation response, I said. Your body thinks it's under attack. Because it is under attack, Alicia snarled. No, because you consumed improperly handled food. These things happen when people aren't careful in kitchens. The EMTs arrived in 8 minutes. Fast, even for a hospital response. 4 teams, 12 people total. They burst through the door like a medical SWAT team. Who made the call? The lead EMT asked. I did. Dustin Reeves, food safety auditor. I was supervising a charity cooking demonstration. All 4 participants are showing acute gastroenteritis symptoms. Did you eat the food? No, I was monitoring and documenting. They moved efficiently, checking vitals, asking questions. Blood pressure, temperature, pulse oxygen. Conrad's blood pressure was spiking. Harvey's wasn't much better. Wade had gone into full panic mode, convinced he was dying. Alicia tried to maintain composure but failed when the second wave of cramps hit. We need to transport all 4, the lead EMT announced. Possible contamination event means they all go to isolation until we know what we're dealing with. They loaded them onto gurneys. The sight was almost poetic, 4 people who'd been so comfortable in my bed, now flat on their backs, helpless. Sir, we'll need you to come too, one EMT told me. For documentation and testing. Of course. I'll follow in my car. No, you need to ride with us. Protocol for contamination events. Even better. I climbed into the last ambulance with Alicia. She couldn't even look at me, too busy fighting her own body's rebellion. The ER was controlled chaos. They wheeled all 4 into adjacent bays in the isolation ward. Nurses descended with IVs, monitors, collection kits. The attending physician was a young woman, Dr. Martinez according to her badge. All business. Talk to me, she said. The lead EMT rattled off vitals and symptoms. 4 patients, acute onset gastroenteritis following a cooking demonstration. This is Mr. Reeves, the food safety auditor who was supervising. Dr. Martinez turned to me. What did they eat? I pulled out my phone, showed her the photos I'd taken of each dish. 3 courses. Bruschetta with cream spread, chicken and mushroom sauce, chocolate lava cake. Everything was prepared on site. Did anyone else eat the food? No, just these 4. And you? I don't eat while conducting inspections. She nodded, then turned to the nurses. Full panels on all 4. Blood, urine, stool samples when they're able. Check for common pathogens first, Salmonella, E. coli, Listeria. I stood in the corner, observing. They'd put all 4 in a row, only curtains between them. I could hear everything. This is your fault, Alicia hissed at Harvey through the curtain. My fault? How is food poisoning my fault? Your wine. Maybe it was contaminated. Wine doesn't cause this, Harvey shot back. This is the food. We all ate the same food, Conrad groaned. We're all sick. This isn't random. You think Dustin? Wade started, then stopped. He's right there, Alicia whispered harshly. They went quiet. The only sounds were monitors beeping and 4 drips clicking. Dr. Martinez returned an hour later with a tablet. Mr. Reeves, I need to ask some additional questions. Whatever helps. You said this was a charity demonstration. Who organized it? I did. The hospital approved it for tomorrow's cookbook launch. And these 4 participants, how were they selected? They're my friends. And my wife. I pointed to each bed. I invited them to help. She made notes. Have there been any disputes or conflicts between you? Why would you ask that? Standard question when multiple people get sick from a single source. No conflicts, I lied. We're very close. From the beds, silence. They couldn't contradict me without explaining why. Another hour passed. The vomiting had stopped, but the other symptoms were getting worse. The magnesium citrate was doing its job. Nurses kept emptying bedpans, changing sheets. The capsaicin had them all sweating through their gowns. Wade broke first. Doctor, how long will this last? Depends on what caused it, Martinez replied. Could be hours, could be days. Days? Conrad's voice cracked. Some bacterial infections require extended treatment. We won't know until the labs come back. I watched them suffer in their beds, remembering all those Tuesday nights when I was working late. All those weekend trips I couldn't make. All those inside jokes I wasn't part of. This felt like balance. Around 2 p.m., Dr. Martinez pulled me aside. Mr. Reeves, preliminary results show elevated bacterial counts consistent with improper food handling. Multiple violation points. That's concerning, I said. I'll need to file a full report. Yes, you will. But there's something else. She lowered her voice. The symptoms are unusually synchronized. All 4 patients showing identical progression. That's uncommon. What are you suggesting? I'm not suggesting anything yet. But we're running additional tests. More specific ones. She walked away, leaving me with that. I wasn't worried. Everything I'd used would metabolize out of their systems within 24 hours. Untraceable after that. And none of it was illegal to possess. By 4 p.m., they were all miserable but stable. The worst had passed, though they didn't know it yet. I sat in the waiting area, filling out forms on my tablet, playing the concerned husband and friend. That's when Dr. Martinez returned with another doctor. Older, gray-haired, with the kind of presence that made everyone stand straighter. Mr. Reeves, this is Dr. Harrison, our chief of internal medicine. Harrison didn't offer his hand. Just studied me. I understand you're a food safety auditor. That's correct. So you'd know about contamination vectors, temperature dangers, bacterial growth patterns. It's my job to know. Then you'd also know how unusual it is for 4 people to present with these exact symptoms at this exact progression unless there was a single point of deliberate introduction. I met his gaze. Are you accusing me of something? I'm observing patterns. Just like you do in your work. We stared at each other for a moment. Then he turned to Martinez. Run the full toxicology panel. Everything. And pull the surveillance footage from the demonstration kitchen. My phone buzzed in my pocket. The cloud backup had finished uploading. Every word they'd said in that kitchen, every casual mention of their betrayal, every moment they'd thought they were safe. Of course, I said. Review everything. I want to know exactly what happened too. Dr. Harrison studied me again. I'm sure you do. In the meantime, we'll need to keep all 4 under observation. And Mr. Reeves, you should probably notify any next of kin. Hospital policy for contamination events. I nodded, pulled out my phone. I'll start with my wife's family. As I walked toward Alicia's bay to get her emergency contacts, I heard Harrison say something to Martinez. Pull everything from the last year. All 4 patients. I want to know if they've been here before. Together or separately. Martinez hesitated. That seems excessive for food poisoning. Does this seem like ordinary food poisoning to you? I smiled as I opened the curtain to Alicia's bay. She looked up at me, eyes red, face drawn. Before I call your sister, I said loud enough for the others to hear, is there anyone else who should know you're here? Anyone you've been particularly close to recently? The monitor above her bed showed her heart rate spike. That's when Dr. Harrison appeared behind me. Actually, Mr. Reeves, we'll handle the notifications. But I do have one question for your wife and friends. He looked at each of them in turn. Have the 4 of you eaten together before? The silence that followed Harrison's question was beautiful. 4 people who'd been so comfortable together, now unable to look at each other. The monitors betrayed them, heart rates climbing, blood pressure rising. Their bodies telling truths their mouths wouldn't. We're friends, Harvey said finally. We've had dinner together, sure. How often? Harrison pressed. I don't know. Sometimes. Once a month? Once a week? Wade tried to help. We're all friends with Dustin. We hang out. Harrison made a note on his tablet. All 4 of you, together, without Mr. Reeves? Another silence. Alicia's monitor started beeping, her blood pressure hitting warning levels. Doctor, she said, I don't see how this is relevant to food poisoning. Everything's relevant in a contamination event, Harrison replied. Shared meals mean shared exposure risks. We need to map potential vectors. He turned to me. Mr. Reeves, how often would you say these 4 dine together without you? I wouldn't know, I said. I work a lot of evenings. Surely your wife mentions. My wife doesn't always mention everything. I looked directly at Alicia. Do you, honey? The nurse came in to adjust Alicia's 4, breaking the tension momentarily. Harrison stepped back, but I could see him processing, calculating. We'll need those surveillance files from the kitchen, he told Martinez. And Mr. Reeves, we'll need a complete list of all ingredients used today. I have everything documented, I said, pulling out my phone. Would you like me to email it? Send it to Dr. Martinez. Include purchase receipts if you have them. I started forwarding files, making sure to include the ones from my cloud backup. Not the videos, not yet. Just enough documentation to look thoroughly professional. Harrison left to review the data. The 4 of them lay there, occasionally whispered between curtains, but mostly quiet. The magnesium citrate was entering its peak phase. Nurses came and went with bedpans, fresh gowns, dignity evaporating with each trip. Around 6 p.m., Martinez returned with test results. Good news, she announced. No dangerous pathogens detected. No salmonella, no E. coli, no listeria. Then what caused this? Conrad asked, exhausted. The lab found elevated levels of certain compounds. Natural irritants that would cause these symptoms but aren't technically toxic. What kind of compounds? Alicia demanded. Martinez consulted her tablet. Capsaicin in extreme concentrations. Saponins. Some other alkaloids. Think of it as the world's worst case of eating too many hot peppers and spoiled food simultaneously. That's not possible, Harvey said. I would have tasted. He stopped. Looked at me. They all did. The truffle oil, he said slowly. You said the aftertaste was truffle oil. I shrugged. I'm not a sommelier. I defer to your expertise on taste. Wade tried to sit up, failed, fell back against the pillow. You did this on purpose. That's a serious accusation, I said calmly. I suggest you think carefully before making claims you can't support. You son of a... Mr. Wade, Dr. Harrison's voice cut through as he returned. I'd be very interested to hear what you think Mr. Reeves did on purpose. Wade went quiet. They all did. Because explaining what I'd done meant explaining why. And explaining why meant admitting everything. Harrison pulled up a chair between the beds, sat down like he had all the time in the world. Here's what puzzles me. 4 people, identical symptoms, perfect timing. Mr. Reeves here documented everything meticulously, followed every protocol, except he didn't eat. Why didn't you eat, Mr. Reeves? I was working. You never sample food during inspections? Never. It's unprofessional. But these are your friends. Your wife. Surely you'd make an exception. The protocol exists for a reason. Harrison nodded slowly, then turned his tablet toward me. Security footage from the kitchen, but not from today. From 3 weeks ago. After hours. 4 familiar figures entering through the service door. Interesting thing about hospital security systems, Harrison said. They archive everything for insurance purposes. This is from 3 weeks ago. Your wife and friends entering the demonstration kitchen at 11 p.m. My heart rate stayed steady. I'd expected this might come up. I didn't know about that, I said. No? Your wife didn't mention using your access code to enter a restricted area? Alicia's face had gone from pale to gray. We. It was my idea, Harvey jumped in. I wanted to show them my knife skills. Dustin had mentioned the kitchen had excellent equipment. At 11 p.m.? Harrison's voice was skeptical. We'd been drinking, Conrad added. Stupid decision. Harrison pulled up another video. 2 weeks ago. Same 4 people. Same late night entry. Another knife skills demonstration? Then another. From 10 days ago. This time, the camera caught more. Harvey and Alicia kissing in the hallway. Conrad's hand on her back. Wade opening a bottle of champagne. Mr. Reeves, Harrison said quietly, I think we should talk privately. He led me to a consultation room down the hall. Just the 2 of us. I've been doing this for 30 years, he said. I've seen every kind of poisoning. Accidental, self-destroying, homicidal. This isn't any of those. I stayed quiet. This is revenge, he continued. Calculated, careful revenge. The kind that takes expertise to pull off. That's quite a theory. Your wife is having affairs. Multiple affairs. With your friends. You found out. You used your knowledge to make them suffer without causing permanent harm. It's actually brilliant. If that were true, I said slowly, it would be very hard to prove. Impossible to prove criminally, he agreed. Nothing you gave them was illegal. The concentrations weren't toxic. At worst, this is food safety negligence, and you're the expert who would investigate that. We looked at each other. 2 professionals recognizing game. But here's the thing, Harrison continued. The hospital has liability issues. If this was deliberate, we need to document it. And if your wife and friends have been using our facilities for personal activities, that's another issue entirely. He pulled up more footage on his tablet. Not from the kitchen this time. From various locations throughout the hospital. The 4 of them at different times, different configurations. Alicia and Wade in a supply closet. Conrad and Alicia in the parking garage. All 4 in an empty patient room. How long have you known? He asked. Does it matter? For the record? Yes. I thought about it. About Tuesday night. About the wine glasses and the laughter and the lingerie I'd never seen. Officially? I found out today when I saw how comfortable they were together in the kitchen. Noticed things that seemed off. And unofficially? Unofficially, Dr. Harrison, doesn't exist. He nodded, closed the tablet. They'll recover fully within 24 hours. The symptoms are already subsiding. We'll discharge them tomorrow morning. All of them? That depends. He stood up. You see, Mr. Reeves, when multiple people present with identical poisoning symptoms, and when those people have a documented pattern of behavior, and when one person had means, motive, and opportunity. Well, we have obligations. What kind of obligations? Legal ones. Medical ones. Ethical ones. He opened the door. We'll need to interview each of them separately. Get their statements about what happened. About all of it. I understand. Do you? Because once we start that process, things tend to surface. Truths people didn't intend to share. We walked back toward the isolation ward. As we approached, I could hear raised voices. Accusations flying between the beds. The stress and sickness breaking down whatever bonds they'd built. You said he'd never find out. Alicia's voice. You're the one who wanted to do it in his bed. That was Wade. Don't blame her, Conrad. We all agreed. We agreed to be discreet. Harvey. Not to rub his face in it. Harrison stopped walking, held up his hand for silence. We could hear everything clearly. I told you he was getting suspicious, Wade continued. The way he looked at us. He's always been oblivious, Alicia snapped. Too focused on his stupid job to notice anything. Yeah? Then explain why we're all in the ER. It's a coincidence. Food poisoning happens. All four of us? Same exact symptoms? After he specifically invited us? Harrison looked at me. I think we should record this. For the files. He pulled out his phone, but I raised my hand. Pulled out mine instead. Opened the cloud folder. Dozens of video files, all labeled with dates and times. No need, I said. I've got everything. I hit play on one from 3 hours ago. The kitchen. Their voices clear as day. Remember that time in Napa? Which time? We've been there 4 times without him. Laughter. Then Alicia's voice, God, if Dustin knew what we did in his precious kitchen. Harrison's eyes widened. How many videos? Hours. From today and other days. I installed cameras when I started getting suspicious. That's legally gray. In my own home? In my car? In places I have authorized access? I smiled. I know exactly what's legal, doctor. It's my job to know regulations. From the ward, the arguing had gotten louder. A crash, someone had thrown something. Mr. Reeves, Harrison said slowly. What exactly are you planning to do with those recordings? Documentation, I told Harrison. Everything needs to be properly documented. Another crash from the ward. A nurse rushed past us. Harrison sighed. I should check on that, he said. Mr. Reeves, wait here. But I followed him. I wanted to see this. The isolation ward was chaos. Wade had ripped out his 4 trying to get to Conrad's bed. Conrad was half off his gurney, reaching for Wade. Harvey was pressed against the far wall of his cubicle, and Alicia was screaming at all 3 of them. You idiots. He played us. You said he was too stupid to notice. Wade shot back. I said he was too focused on work. There's a difference. Ladies, gentlemen, Harrison's voice cut through. Back in your beds. Now. The nurses moved in, firm but professional. Got Wade reconnected to his 4. Pushed Conrad back onto his gurney. The fight went out of them as quickly as it had started. They were still too sick to maintain the energy. Now, Harrison said, pulling up a chair in the middle of the ward where they could all see him. Let's have an honest conversation. Mr. Reeves has provided some interesting documentation. I held up my phone. Should I play the highlights? Or go chronological? You recorded us? Alicia's voice was barely a whisper. You slept with my friends in my bed. Recording seems mild by comparison. Those recordings are illegal, Harvey said. You can't. Actually, I can. Single-party consent state. My house. My car. The kitchen footage is particularly educational. Harrison cleared his throat. The hospital will need copies for our investigation. You see, we have a zero-tolerance policy about using hospital facilities for non-medical purposes. Harvey works here, I added helpfully. Did you know that, Dr. Harrison? He does wine consultations for hospital fundraisers. Had his access card for months. Harvey went white. Well, whiter. That's how they got into the kitchen all those times, I continued. His card. The system logs every entry. Mr. Dubois, Harrison turned to Harvey. You've been using your hospital access for unauthorized activities? We just. And Mr. Wade, Harrison continued. Weren't you bidding on the hospital expansion contract? Wade's eyes darted between Harrison and me. That's completely separate? Is it? Because using hospital facilities for personal activities while pursuing a business relationship could be seen as an ethical violation. The board takes these things seriously. I pulled up another video on my phone. This one's from last Tuesday. In my living room. Their voices filled the ward. Harvey, he's pathetic. Inspecting kitchens like it matters. Conrad, remember when he gave that speech at our wedding? About loyalty and friendship? Alicia, don't. You'll make me laugh. He was so sincere. Wade, the best part is he thinks we actually like hanging out with him. I let it play for 30 seconds. Just long enough for each of them to hear themselves. To hear how they sounded. to hear who they really were. Turn it off, Alicia said. There's more. 3 months worth. Want to hear what you said about my mother? Or the jokes about my job? Or the part where you discussed whether to tell me or just keep lying? Mr. Reeves, Harrison interrupted. I think we need to discuss next steps. Next steps are simple, I said. Harvey used his hospital access for unauthorized activities. That's termination of his consulting contract. Wade pursued a business relationship while engaging in unethical behavior on hospital property. That disqualifies him from the expansion bid. Conrad. Well, Conrad treated his friend's wife as physical therapy. I'm sure his sports teams would love to know about his professional boundaries. You can't, Conrad started. I can. I will. I've already uploaded everything to a cloud server with scheduled emails. If I don't cancel them in the next hour, they go out automatically. What do you want? Alicia asked. Nothing. I want absolutely nothing from any of you. Harrison stood up. Mr. Reeves, perhaps we should. Dr. Harrison, I interrupted. You asked about next steps. Here they are. The hospital files its reports about the unauthorized access and contamination event. I file my food safety report about violations in the demonstration kitchen. Everyone does their job. The contamination you caused, Wade accused. Prove it. The food was mishandled. You all participated in the preparation. You all have equal responsibility. That's what the footage shows. My phone buzzed. An email from my lawyer. The divorce papers had been filed an hour ago, right when Alicia was getting her stomach pumped. By the way, I said to Alicia, you've been served. Check your email when you get your phone back. What? Divorce papers. Adultery. Documented. The prenup you signed has a fidelity clause. You get nothing except what you brought into the marriage. That prenup was about protecting your mother's life insurance payout. It was about protecting assets. All assets. Your business was built during our marriage with marital funds. Guess what happens to it now? She tried to lunge at me, but the fourth line held her back. The nurse moved in, gently pushing her down. Mr. Reeves, Harrison said firmly. I think you should go. Of course. But first, let me cancel those scheduled emails. Unless anyone objects? Silence. No? Good. I made a show of opening my phone, typing. There. Cancelled. But the files remain. And if any of you come near me, contact me, or even think about retaliation, everything goes public. Every video. Every photo. Every message. I turned to Conrad. Your quarterback's wife follows Alicia on Instagram. Small world. To Wade, your wife's divorce attorney is excellent. She's already been retained. By her. To Harvey, the sommelier community is small. That master certification you've been working toward? The board members are very traditional about personal conduct. Finally, to Alicia, your biggest client, the senator's daughter? She's very religious. Very concerned about the sanctity of marriage. I wonder what she'd think about her dress designer's extracurricular activities. You're destroying our lives, she whispered. No. You destroyed our life. I'm just documenting it. Harrison's pager buzzed. He looked at it, then at me. Mr. Reeves, there's been a development. The health department is here. They want to interview everyone about the contamination event. I smiled. I called them an hour ago. Standard protocol for a contamination event involving multiple victims. 2 health inspectors walked in. I knew them both, Rodriguez and Caden from the regional office. We'd worked together on several cases. Dustin, Rodriguez nodded. We got your report. 4 victims, acute gastroenteritis, demonstration kitchen. You have documentation? Everything, I said, handing over a USB drive. Temperature logs, ingredient sources, preparation video, symptom onset timeline. We'll need statements from everyone involved, Caden said, looking at the 4 in their beds. They're all here, I said helpfully. Though they're still recovering. Rodriguez looked at the monitors, the 4th bags, the bedpans. What did they ingest? Based on the symptoms and my documentation, appears to be multiple compliance failures. Temperature abuse, cross-contamination, improper storage. A perfect storm of violations. In a hospital demonstration kitchen? Unfortunately, yes. Mr. Dubois there had access. He's been using it for private events without proper oversight. Caden turned to Harvey. Is this true? Harvey couldn't speak. just stared at me with pure hatred. The security footage confirms it, Harrison provided. Multiple unauthorized entries. This is serious, Rodriguez said. We'll need to shut down the kitchen pending investigation. And Mr. Dubois, your food handler's permit is suspended immediately. His what? Alicia asked. Harvey never mentioned? I said innocently. He needs that permit to work at any establishment serving food. Including Guillaume's. Rodriguez was already on his phone. Yes, this is Inspector Rodriguez. We need an immediate suspension notification sent to Guillaume's restaurant regarding Harvey Dubois. The rest was bureaucracy. Forms, statements, official notifications. I stood there for another hour, helpful and professional, providing documentation and clarification. Watching as each agency did their job, as each system processed their violations, as each consequence locked into place. By 10 p.m., it was done. Harvey's permit suspended, his restaurant contract void. Conrad under investigation by the State Physical Therapy Board. Wade's company blacklisted from the hospital expansion project. Alicia served with divorce papers that would take everything. I walked out of the hospital into the cold night air. My phone had been buzzing with texts from mutual friends who'd seen social media posts about the food poisoning incident. I didn't respond to any of them. 6 months later, I'm in Denver. New job, better pay, actual friends. I run the food safety division for a healthcare network twice the size of St. Bernardine. Alicia's business went under 2 months after the divorce finalized. Turns out reputation matters in the wedding industry. She moved back with her parents in Ohio. Harvey works at a liquor store now. Can't get hired anywhere that serves food until his permit's reinstated. That takes 2 years minimum. Conrad lost his sports contracts. Teaches CrossFit at a strip mall gym. Wade's wife took him for everything in their divorce. He drives for a rideshare company. Last week, I got a text from an unknown number. It was Alicia. Are you happy now? I didn't respond. But the answer is yes. I'm happy. They wanted to play games in my kitchen. They wanted to laugh at the man who kept everyone safe, who followed the rules, who did his job with precision and pride. They learned that precision works both ways. In food safety, we have a saying, temperature is time, and time is temperature. Leave something in the danger zone too long, and it becomes toxic. They were in my danger zone for a year. The result was exactly what you'd expect. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.